Television and radio advertising played a key role in the outcome of the 2012 election. This year also showed that increasingly candidates are turning to new technologies and new forms of communication, using the digital world to connect to voters.
Hello, I'm Kevin McDougal running for State Senate. How are you doing?
Personal face-to-face contact is still the most effective way of winning over voters. Still, many candidates invest heavily in television and radio advertising to reach a mass audience. This year, an estimated $6 billion has been spent on campaign ads, making this the most expensive election in history, according to the Center for Responsive Politics. Student researchers at the Julian P. Cantor Political Commercial Archive on the campus of the University of Oklahoma combed the web, searching for new campaign ads. Archive curator Terry Jordan sees evidence of the spending surge.
Just looking at the materials that we've captured over our previous annual reports, we've already captured or viewed at least twice as many ads just as of the spring semester as have been released in previous election years.
Political communications researcher Kim Gaddy credits the increased spending on the United States Supreme Court decision in the Citizens United case, which allows corporations and labor unions to spend unlimited amounts on political campaigns, much of it in key swing states.
We've seen money spent here on ads, and we've seen, local races and statewide races have money spent on ads, but we just haven't seen it this year. In terms of the national level, I think just as much money as ever is being spent on political advertising. It's just we're not seeing it.
Money did flow into the more hotly contested races in Oklahoma. In the 2nd Congressional District, Republican Markwayne Mullin and Democrat Rob Wallace spent more than $2 million in a race that was notable for the use of attack ads by both sides.
Markwayne Mullin's head isn't on straight. Mullin sided with interest groups who want to sell our water to Texas and Oklahoma City.
Lawyer Rob Wallace wages a negative campaign attacking Markwayne Mullin. The record Wallace wants to hide? 14 years on the government payroll as a career lawyer and politician after failing in business.
Gaddy says even though voters claim to be turned off by negative campaigning, attack ads still work.
They're one of the ways candidates use to draw issue comparisons and differences between one another. It's the tried and true method, unfortunately, for drawing sharp contrasts and pointing out deficiencies in opponents' records and where they've gone wrong.
Political consultant and former Oklahoma Democratic Party Chair Pat Hall says negative ads aren't aimed at the extremes on either side. Rather, they're targeted at voters who haven't made up their minds.
It's all about persuadables. You're trying to persuade the voter to dislike your opponent and vote for you with a negative piece.
One of the most famous attack ads in history was the Daisy Girl ad, which ran only once during the 1964 presidential race between Lyndon Johnson and Barry Goldwater.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
People that are political junkies always want to go back to the Daisy commercial, but if you think about it, that commercial ran more because the press picked it up and showed it as earned media versus paid media. It became a press story more than it became a bought TV ad.
Candidates are also turning to the internet and social media such as Twitter and Facebook as an alternative to the traditional television and radio ad. Lori McKinnon is an associate professor of strategic communications at Oklahoma State University. McKinnon says social media in politics really came of age in the 2008 presidential race between Barack Obama and John McCain.
When you look at the statistics, Obama obviously used it much more heavily than McCain. In fact, he had 6 times as many friends on Facebook. He had so many more YouTube videos. He had political blogs.
McKinnon and fellow researcher Cynthia Nichols have launched a study of social media and politics. Nichols says candidates had used the internet before 2008, but the presidential campaign of Barack Obama took it to another level.
He was able to do it and engage the young voter, and I think that was really one of the first times that we saw that, and so it made everybody kind of sit up and take notice that, hey, social media is not just some fad, but it's a way that we've changed communication.
Social media is significantly cheaper than broadcast and print media advertising. Creating a Facebook or Twitter account is free, although candidates are finding it costs to pay someone to monitor and update the site.
Every political candidate has to have some sort of Facebook page, some sort of Twitter account. Political pundits have them. People ghost tweet for people, before it's ghost writing, now it's ghost tweeting. So everyone has some sort of online presence now because it's the expected standard.
Social media also provides an almost instantaneous two-way connection with voters, giving candidates time to fine-tune their message or sharpen an attack.
If you make a comment in the media and it gets picked up on social media, you can see the trending topics. You can see that a lot of people were upset with Romney's comment of binder full of women.
I went to a number of women's groups and said, can you help us find folks? And they brought us whole binders full of women.
It is almost instantaneous. You can kind of get a feel for what people are thinking and how they are reacting, and you can address it.
I'm sorry, Jim, I'm going to stop the subsidy to PBS. I'm going to stop other things. I like PBS. I love Big Bird. I actually like you, too.
I mean, obviously people were upset with the Big Bird comment, and so then President Obama then made the very satirical commercial of Big Bird being the enemy. And he was able to do that because he saw the opportunity within social media. They were able to see how people reacted.
The growing impact of social media on politics was underscored late Tuesday night after President Obama's win. According to the website Media Bistro, a tweet from the president's social media team proclaiming 4 more years became the most shared post in Twitter history.